much, friends. I'm excited to share with you tonight the power of United Financial Freedom's Money Max account and show you how the Money Max account can really help you unlock the power of your existing cash flow. So many times in life, we think, man, am I ever going to get out of debt? Am I ever going to get ahead financially? Are things ever going to break and be, a little bit of favor coming my way, especially in today's economy? So many people are being crushed financially. Well, friends, the Money Max account system and the opportunity that Steve's going to talk about in a few minutes combined is, in my opinion, the answer to America's financial crisis. And I want to show you how to unlock the power of your existing cash flow using the Money Max system first. And then, as Steve mentioned, he'll go into the business side of it. But when you combine the two, you're going to actually see an example of that tonight and just how incredible that changes everything for you financially. And this is an opportunity, obviously, to become part of our business and share it with others. So let's jump in. This is the Money Max account system that you're looking at here. There's three tabs that I'm going to go through tonight: the accounts tab, the budget tab, and the action plan tab. Now, friends, on the beginning of this might just look like some kind of a generic accounting software program. Well, friends, I promise you it's a lot more than that, and you'll see that as we go through this tonight. This is Brad and Cindy Johnson. They've got $1,000 in their checking account. They've got $5,138.89 in their savings, and their home is valued at $475,000. And yes, they are earning 5.25% interest on that savings. So total assets, $481,000. But like most Americans, they've got a lot of debt. Most of America right now is drowning in debt. And Brad and Cindy were no different when they started their journey with the Money Max program about a year ago. They had $469,000 of debt. That breaks down to $80,000 of consumer debt. Their consumer debt was 3 credit cards: an American Express, a MasterCard, and a Visa, and a student loan and an auto loan. And if you add up those balances, it's about $80,000 of consumer debt. And then combined with that, they had a $389,000 mortgage at 6% interest, monthly payment of $2,837. They also had a line of credit. By the way, you don't have to have a line of credit in order for the program to work. They just happen to have one. So total debt, $469,936. But I want to ask you some questions as we go through this tonight, because I really want you to pay attention. I want you to listen, and I want you to focus on what information is right here at our fingertips with the Money Max system. First question I've got for you tonight is, do you see those big blue dashlets at the top and what that says? It says, hey, Brad and Cindy, even though you've got 30 years of mortgage hanging over your head and all of that other debt, you're going to be debt-free in just 10 years. We'll even show you your payoff date. And look at that. We're going to save you $337,000 of interest you would have otherwise paid the bank. Friends, my second question is, would that change your life? If it would, go to the chat and say, yes, if I could be out of debt in 10 years instead of 30 years, that would change my life. If I could save $337,000, are you kidding? That would change a lot of things, right? Friends, that's what we do at United Financial Freedom. We help people gain back their financial footing and put things in their favor instead of the bank's favor. Now, how in the world can we do that? People always want to say, well, that seems too good to be true. How can you do that? Well, here's how. You see that $469,000 of debt? That doesn't include the interest. That's just the principal. You see, the banks and the lenders, in addition to that principal, are planning on Brad and Cindy paying back an additional $491,706 of interest. Additional. For what? What would Brad and Cindy gain by paying the banks and the lenders almost $500,000 of interest? I'll tell you what they'd gain. They'd gain a lot of gray hair and a lot of wrinkles and a lot of stress and a lot of, what the heck are we doing? We're never going to get out of debt. You gain a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of frustration. Friends, that's what we gain by being under the bank's thumb and control. We gain stress and premature aging. It kills you. There's so many things, so many problems in relationships and life that debt causes that people don't even realize. Friends, over the life of those loans, the banks and the lenders want Brad and Cindy to pay back not 100% interest, 104% interest, 104.63% interest. And again, for what? What in the world do they gain by paying back all that interest? Friends, you're probably wondering, well, is that right? Is that really 104% interest? Let me show you 3 examples tonight of what they used to call truth in lending. Now it's called the loan estimate or closing disclosure. And this is actually 3 of our clients that were gracious enough to allow us to use their loan estimate and closing disclosure. The first one you can see right here is at a 7.269 APR. And this particular client borrowed $395,000 on their mortgage. Look how much interest is being tacked on. $563,000 of interest. For what? You see, friends, it's not about the APR. You think it is. That's what the banks and lenders want us to believe. They've taught us for decades, you only need to pay attention to the monthly payment and the APR. If those 2 sound reasonable, sign the documents, right? That's kind of how they've taught the American public to be when it comes to our finances. Well, here's the problem. APR is not your interest rate. Did you know that? Annual, that's the key word there, annual. That's not your interest rate over the life of the loan. That's just the annual percentage rate. What's your interest rate over the life of the loan? Oh yeah, that's 130%. Now here's another example of someone that borrowed money at 5.83 APR, but that's not really what they're paying. They're paying 93% interest over the life of the loan. Look at it. They borrowed $355,000. They're paying $390 in interest alone. Friends, it's absolutely absurd what the lenders want us to pay in interest. Why? Because they can, right? And they're all about profit. Well, friends, that's literally wrecking and ruining Americans' finances. And that's why that's why United Financial Freedom developed the Money Max system to help America regain control of their finances and put everything in their favor instead of the bank's favor. And here's the last one I want to share with you tonight. Maybe you refinanced during the pandemic like this family. You got a 3.55% APR. Friends, that's still 59% over the life of the loan. I talked to a family yesterday that had 2.49% APR. And he just told me flat out, he said, Lynn, I don't even care about paying off that mortgage. That's the cheapest money I'll ever borrow. No, it's not. And once I showed him, you're really paying over 45% interest over the life of the loan. Oh, friends, you've got to understand what you're being charged. If you don't understand it, just like he was, you're going to maybe be okay with your debt. And the banks are just going to keep taking that money as long as you give it to them. Friends, that's not a smart path. Now, here's Brad and Cindy's income. They're bringing home about $8,400 a month. They're spending about $65.73. That includes the debt payments. $27.55 of that is their household expenditures every month for the groceries and utilities and everything else that they spend money on. And what this program does, it runs everything through hundreds of thousands of mathematical algorithms, equations, formulas, and literally breaks down everything. It breaks down timing. It breaks down how each loan is structured. It breaks down the interest rate. How is it really honestly being charged? Well, it's not paying attention to the APR nearly as much as what's really going on behind the scenes. And it breaks all of that down with the budget and everything that the family has going on, and it puts together a customized, precise action plan. And it makes it so simple. All you have to do is follow the action plan. This is how I fell in love with United Financial Freedom. This makes it so simple, even I could do it. And guys and gals, I was not a financial expert coming into this. I was a truck driver. And I thought, my goodness, this is so simple. Anybody could do this. This is brilliant. That's really brilliant. So let me show you Brad and Cindy's action plan, and I'm going to show you what they accomplished in their first year. We started out in September with Brad and Cindy back in 2023. The first couple of things it tells them is to, you'll notice this is having a suggestion here. When you see the double lines, that's a suggestion. It's telling Brad and Cindy move 186.82 from savings to checking to avoid an overdraft. Well, that's good. Nobody likes overdraft fees, right? And if I hover the mouse over the mortgage payment there, it says, hey, Brad and Cindy, when you make your first mortgage payment of $2,837, that principal balance on the mortgage is going to come down from $389.9 down to $389,511. Now, I brought my calculator in to show you, friends, that's only giving them credits out of $2,800. That's giving them credit or principal pay down of $388. If you had $2,800 to spend, would you go into Costco and buy a little 19-inch TV that's worth $388, but you go ahead and give Costco a check for $2,800 and you say, you know what, guys, you're so awesome, just keep the difference. It's okay, keep it. Would you do that? No. And yet that's what we do in our finances, friends. Think about that. Now, it's telling Brad and Cindy exactly what to do to maximize the efficiency of their existing cash flow and their money. And it tells them periodically to move money from checking to savings and builds up a little nest egg there in the savings. And then it takes advantage of that money. Remember, they're earning 5.25% on their savings, so that's a good thing. And then it periodically will trigger strategic events and tell them exactly what to do. Brad and Cindy on September the 5th, 2023, take 1915.08 right to the penny and pay off your American Express card. That's going to save you $2,608 of interest. You no longer have to pay American Express. Take 1876.87. Let's pay that additional principal on the Visa. It's not going to quite pay off the Visa, but let's go ahead and pay that additional principal on the Visa. Friends, why wasn't it $1,800? Why wasn't it $1,875? I don't know. I don't have hundreds of thousands of algorithms in my head. I don't know. But the program does, and it knows exactly what the maximum savings and benefit will be. Brad and Cindy, that's going to save you $2,786 of interest. You don't have to pay in interest. Pretty awesome, right? We go into October. It's moving some more money from checking to savings, taking advantage of that 5.25% rate on the savings. We go through the end of October, nothing unusual there. We get into November, and again, we're going to be knocking out some more of the debt. Take $2,700.32 this month, guys, and pay off the MasterCard. Just let's get that thing paid off. That keeps $4,276 in your pocket that you don't have to pay the bank in interest. It's literally like getting it's like getting things for pennies on the dollar. It's maximizing everything in your benefit instead of the bank's benefit. And this month, we're going to take $225.72 and finish paying off that Visa and keep another $21 in our pocket. Friends, that's incredible. Let me ask you another question. Is there anybody in here tonight in the Zoom room tonight with us that would you spend $906.22 if it guaranteed that you would gain over $4,000? Would you do that? Well, of course. That's simple math. Anybody could understand that. So the program says, Brad and Cindy, if you send the mortgage 90622 additional principal this month, that's going to save you guaranteed $4,452 of money that you get to keep in your pocket. You no longer have to give it to the mortgage company. And then at the end of November, they're moving another $87.87 from checking to savings. Again, why isn't it $85? I don't know. It's very precise. It's right to the penny. That's what I do know. And I trust the Money Max program, and I'll share with all of you what it did for me and why I trust it so much in a moment. But do you see how powerful that is? That's how Brad and Cindy are going to be debt-free in 10 years. That's how they're going to save 337 grand. That's life-changing. And it'll be life-changing for you and anyone that you introduce it to. So sometimes unexpected things happen in life. We get that. We engineered the program to handle everything that fluctuates in your life. Some of you have irregular income. Some of you have things happen and pop up that you weren't expecting. And some of you, maybe your expenses vary each month and it's not consistent. Well, guess what? When it comes right down to it, all of our expenses vary every month. We don't spend the same this week at the grocery store that we did last week. The program is built to be dynamic. It ebbs, it flows, it moves, it breathes, it lives with you and adjusts along the way. So Brad and Cindy had an unexpected event. They click on add new action, they click on withdrawal, and they tell the program, you know what? Our car broke down and now we've got to spend $2,500 on a mechanic to get the car fixed. We weren't planning on it, but now we got to do it. So $2,500 to get the car fixed. They put that in, and the action plan, the dashboard now reflects that difference and says, well, now it's going to be 10.1 instead of 10 years. It's a month longer to pay off. But here's the good news, Brad and Cindy. You're now going to save $339,000, not $337,000, $339,000. It's going to save them more money, even with that unexpected event. Friends, when I saw how this program really works, it melted my mind. I was just like, I can't wrap my brain around that, but I can sure follow an action plan. That's pretty simple. Here's why it's going to save more money. They're still moving money to savings 3 days after their car broke down. They're still paying off their American Express. They're still paying extra principal on the Visa, and the program is already calculating how to save virtually all of the interest on that $2,500 Visa charge to the mechanic. Absolutely amazing. Now, 7 months later, going into April of 2024, Brad and Cindy are now down to 9.7 years remaining. They're still on track to save an additional 336 grand, but look how much they've already saved in the first 7 months. $23,563 of savings. Guaranteed. Friends, when we tell you how much money you're going to save, it's guaranteed in writing. It's guaranteed. Remember those credit cards when we started out? They had a big balance on the American Express, the MasterCard, and the Visa. Well, 7 months in, those are all paid off. Zero balance on every one of those. Remember the $389,000 mortgage and how little was going to principal every month? Well, 7 months in, they've already gained $4,471 of principal pay down on that mortgage, in addition to paying off the credit cards. That literally puts them on month 12 of their amortization schedule. Friends, when I looked at this the first time, I realized this is a lot of math, a lot of stuff that I could never figure out how to do on my own. And boy, was I right. When I got on the program, first thing it told me to do was move about 23 grand from my line of credit to my mortgage, and I just about had a heart attack. I called the company and I said, "Are you guys crazy?" And they said, "No, just trust the math. Just do what it says." So I did, and when I got my mortgage statement the following month, it had literally knocked about 4 years off the back end of that mortgage. And I'm like, oh, I get it. It works. Friends, it works. 12 months later for Brad and Cindy coming into 2024, September of 2024, look at where they're at a year later. They've already saved $40,297 in 1 year. 40 grand. That's money they get to keep in their pocket. That's money that they can earn money on instead of giving it to the bank needlessly. And what this really does is it means that not only did they pay off the credit card, they paid down that mortgage about 15 grand. Friends, you're not going to do that following the bank's plan. It just won't happen. If you just keep doing what the bank wants you to do, it's never going to happen. And now they're literally on month 36 on that amortization schedule on their mortgage. Friends, could you figure all that out on your own? You'd have to be a genius to even come close. And they accomplished all of this using their existing cash flow, no change to their budget, no change to their lifestyle, no refinancing. And then the unexpected happened. Cindy lost her job. At the end of August, Cindy lost her job. Well, friends, I just saw in the news today, there's another company. This happens all the time. Another company laying off over 2,000 workers. Friends, have you ever lost a job, ever been fired, ever become unemployed, no fault of your own? It happens. So Cindy's got to take her income out. Well, what does that mean? Well, the Money Max program tells them exactly what it means right to the penny. It says, Brad and Cindy, your expenses are going to exceed your available funds October the 7th of 2027. Friends, what year are we in? That's 3.1 years down the road. 3.1 years. Can you even begin to understand the mathematics that's going on behind the scenes to be able to tell them that kind of information? And that's frankly huge peace of mind for Brad and Cindy. And Cindy's smart. She says, I'm not going to go back to work for corporate America. I'm going to build an agency with United Financial Freedom. She's seen the comp plan that you're going to see in a moment. And she says, that's what I want to do, Brad. I want to build an agency. And I think I can go out and make 15 to 20 grand a month or more. And Brad says, Cindy, I know you can, but be cautious, be conservative. So they talk about it and they decide to put in $2,500 a month, or $2,500 weekly, just conservative, 10 grand a month for Cindy. And that takes them to where they'll now be debt-free in 3.5 years. The home's paid for, student loans are gone, cars paid for. 3.5 years. Imagine standing in your backyard around a bonfire and having a celebration and throwing your mortgage into that fire and burning the mortgage. Wouldn't that be awesome? 3.5 years, burn the mortgage, baby. Invite your friends and neighbors and tell them why you accomplished that. That's how powerful this is. Remember where they started? They were on track to pay the bank 492 grand of interest. That's not the principal, that's the interest. It would have taken them 30 years to get out of debt. Over here with the Money Max program, it cuts that interest all the way down to 50 grand. Friends, that's the same as if they could get a 0.69% rate on all of their debt. Now, you and I both know they're not going to get that at the bank, but that's the same mathematics as what the Money Max delivers. 3.5 years, they're done. They're debt-free. What does that mean? Now they can get their money working for them. And if they only got a 1% return for the 26.5 years of time that we saved them, they could have $4.7 million in the bank for retirement versus nothing over here. Friends, that's life-changing. And with that, Steve, I'm going to turn the time over to you to talk about the business plan.
Okay, fantastic. Well, let me get my slides up here, and we'll get started on that part of our presentation. And man, I just love every time that Lynn gives that presentation, every time that Di does her presentations on Tuesday night, folks. I tell you, just resells us all over again what we're doing, and the power of this technology is truly incredible. Now, I get the opportunity to share something with you that's really helped to build our company, that's helped us to go out and literally talked to thousands and thousands of people, but you know what? We're not a household word. We're not a household name. Uh, Most people have never heard of us, but we've done a phenomenal job for the consumer because of people like Lynn, like Di, like the many people who are part of our company that have said, look what this did for me. I want to go tell people about this. I mean, people need to know this information. But how many of us go out and we buy something, and maybe it's a new phone? How anxious are we to go out and say, man, have you seen the new features on the 16? It's unbelievable what that thing will do. Man, it's awesome. And we'll go out and we'll sell a phone all day long to people about all the phone. But will we talk to people about, man, I saw this technology is unbelievable. Look, it's going to be able to save me $310,000. It just blew me away. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's that easy. It's just a conversation with people and sharing the message of the Money Max account and help people get out of debt, so that we also believe in the concept of creating wealth. Folks, I've been in the financial services industry for 40 years, and when I was out there in the field many years ago, if I'd had a tool like this to show people, I would have quadrupled my business. Because the one big thing that would keep people from putting money aside is that they said, I'm broke. I don't have any additional money. I don't have extra money that I can invest or I can put away. So therefore, there came the biggest block of being able to help those people. Well, guess what? If there's a way to show you how to get out of debt much faster, can you start saving much faster? Can you save more much faster? Well, the answer to that, of course, is yes. Well, as we looked at this program and we looked at what it would do for people, and we wanted to really build distribution for it, because John and Skylar were already in the mortgage industry, and they saw this huge problem out there, people going out and refinancing their mortgage and starting their mortgages all over again, getting it down to 25, 26, 27 years, and getting back up to 30 and pulling money out and getting a higher interest rate. Or it was just, they saw a problem in that, and they said there's got to be an answer. Thus, they did some research and came up with the Money Max account. And of course, over the last 20 some odd years, it just continues to improve every day. See, we have a team of IT developers that continuously work on the Money Max account and make it better and more user friendly and more user friendly and more uses within the program itself. So it's always a work in progress in making something better. But let's talk about the business now. I don't know what your particular situation is. I don't know if you may be perfectly happy with your job. You're not really looking for anything, but because a friend asked you to, you said, okay, I'll take a look. You're taking a look. Maybe you're looking and you need to make some extra income. Maybe the grocery shopping got a little bit more expensive. The gas got a little more expensive. Things got a little bit more expensive to live. Maybe you're looking for a potential career change at some point. Whatever that might be, let's see if there's some potential here that might fit your mold. And then again, folks, we understand maybe it's just not for you. Maybe you love the program, but maybe it's just not for you to do this. That's okay too. But hopefully we can pique some interest and find some awesome people like we have to go out and share this message. This is what we've done. This is who we are. I just want to explain who we are. Currently, total debt under management. That means of the people across America that own the Money Max account with United Financial Freedom that are utilizing the program, we currently have $9,675,282,259 of debt under management. Folks, that is not a little feat. That is a huge number. Total debt eliminated. Listen at this. $2,648,077,132. That is phenomenal. Please tell me another company that's done that for the American consumer that doesn't get them further in debt. See, you can see advertisements on TV all day long, and what brought this whole thing about is the advertisements like you see on television. As I said, John and Skylar were in the mortgage business, and where this came to their mind was people were calling back wanting to refi pull money out so they could get out of debt, and they would do it 2 or 3 times. That's not getting out of debt, folks. That's just getting it started all over again. Well, if we've been able to help people with 2.6 billion, this is 1 week, 7,500,000 in 1 week's been added to total debt under management. Almost $3 million in 1 week in debt that's been paid off. That's huge. And we haven't even, we're just a little small company getting started out there. Getting started 20 years ago, but nevertheless, folks, we haven't even scratched the surface of the millions and millions of people that are facing debt every day. Well, what kind of company are you? I can see what you do. That's pretty impressive. What kind of company are you? We're called an agency system. That is what our business model is. That's what our sales model, distribution model is, called an agency system. Now, let me share with you some of the companies that are agency system type companies that we designed our company at for our compensation. And how do I earn money? How do I make money? How does that work? Well, in agency systems, there are companies like these. Keller Williams, very, very large real estate company. Coldwell Banker Real Estate Company. Century 21, Prudential Insurance Company. Remax, State Farm, Allstate, Farmers Insurance, Farm Bureau Insurance, Edward Jones Investment Company, Morgan Stanley, New York Life. Ever heard of any of those companies? Well, folks, they are agency system companies. They build a company, they recruit people, not necessarily insurance agents. They recruit people, show them what they have to offer as far as a compensation program and their products, and say, look, go get your license and you can come to work here. And if you want to, we'll let you move up into management, and one day we'll actually let you recruit a little sales force that you can work with and train. Well, we do a much better job of it, and that we don't put limitations on you, and we allow you to start doing something significant right away. But that's what an agency system begins to look like, what these companies do. Well, let's break that down even a little bit more so you have a better understanding. What does it cost me to get involved with your company? Let's knock any potential negative thoughts that someone might have. Oh, it must cost a lot of money. $149. One time. Not a month. $149 is your registration fee, and you get a website for that. On your website, you got all the videos that you can send out to prospects. You got all the videos for training, learning. You got everything back there that you need, that when you make a sale, your client shows up back there, show you what your compensation is. It has everything that you need. It is a professional website that you can run a business with. So for $149, you get that. $200, you get a discount on the Money Max account. No territories. You're not limited to your city, your state. You can work anywhere in the United States that you want to. No income cap. We don't say you can only make this much money. We don't limit that. You can make as much as you want to, as fast as you want to. No license required. Folks, I was a sheet metal worker 40 years ago. I got in the insurance business. I had to go take a test and get a license. Every year I had to do my continuing education. Folks, you can get started tomorrow because there's no license required, because it's technology. That's what we're selling people, is technology that guides them on how to get out of debt. It is a national opportunity. Anywhere you can go anywhere in the United States and make a sale. You can go anywhere in the United States and recruit an agent. We have automated commission increases. You don't have to wait for someone to sign off to give you a commission increase. And I'll explain that as we go through the presentation. Automated rank promotions. You automatically get promoted to the higher levels to make more money automatically by the computer. You're not waiting around for someone to sign off on something, or someone to retire or quit or get promoted before you get a promotion. Nope, that's all done on your basis, on what you do, on your efforts. So this again is part of becoming a representative with United Financial Freedom. Now let's talk about the 6 ways that you get paid. And we're going to break that down. Personal sales commissions. That means you give a presentation, you show someone what the Money Max account is, you talk to them about it, give a presentation, you gather an analysis, gather some information. What is your income? How much income? How often do you get paid? Every week, every 2 weeks? Are you commission driven? Then we talk about your debts, just like what Lynn showed you: credit cards, mortgage payments, student loans, car notes, whatever that debt load is. You go out there, you put that together, you show them the analysis of what it can do for them, you make a sale. Guess what? In 3 days, you get a check. We pay 3 times a week. As long as you've got business in, you're going to get a check. Field training commissions. We're going to allow you to do 2 things. We're a recruiting company. We build distribution. That's what we want to do, build distribution so we can get this out across the country and help literally millions of people across America. Well, we need people to help train other people that are coming on board with the company. And we allow you to build a sales agency or sales force for yourself within our company while we provide the support. We provide customer support. We provide agent support. We provide training for your clients to get their accounts set up. 5 profit sharing pools. Folks, we allow you to make commissions off of every sale that's made in the company. Every sale that's made in the company in United Financial Freedom. Because if you qualify for one of these profit sharing pools each month, they're 30 days, they go for each month, and you do the minimum to qualify to get in each one of these pools, you can share in those pools as a bonus on top of the other income you make. Management overrides. As you move up in management, you're gonna, and I'll share you what that means. You'll actually earn income off of other people. Leadership overrides for developing, becoming a leader and developing other leaders. And then field equity points, which we won't discuss tonight because that's a whole different conversation, okay? But we're gonna talk about the first 5 ways that you earn income. Well, let's look at it and let's kind of break it down as simple as we possibly can for you, okay? You'll see agent rank. That means whatever level that you're at, you're going to begin as what we call a training associate. You don't really know a whole lot other than maybe you've purchased the Money Max account, you've seen a presentation, but to go back out and to regurgitate that presentation and to give it something, you don't know how to do that. Well, guess what? You're going to have a certified field trainer work with you to help you to explain the Money Max account. As a training associate, when a sale is made and you're involved in that, and honestly, there's not a whole lot that you have to do other than put a certified field trainer in front of someone. If the sale is made, you're going to make, using our average sale, and if you look way down here at the bottom, it says based on a $39.95, $3,995 sale. That's average. Sometimes they might be $42.50 or they might be $33.25, okay? But our average sale is about $39.95. Notice this percentage. We use percentages of whatever the number is. So if you took 18.3674 times 3995, it's $450. That would be your commission. Well, you're required to do at least a minimum of 2 training sales. You may need to do more, but you're required to do a minimum of 2 training sales. When you've done that, you're going to become an associate. As an associate, you can see that your percentage doubles. So that means every time that you make a sale, your income is going to double. You're now going to average $900 per sale. Once you, either by yourself or if you've decided, look, I would like to make a significant amount of money. I would really like to make some good income. I'd like a career change, or look, right now I'm between jobs. I'm looking at a career change. Well, folks, once you are, if you've recruited a few other salespeople, once you've done a total of 5 sales, that's only 3 more sales than you've already done, you're going to get promoted to what we call a senior associate. As a senior associate, you can see your percentage rate increases and the amount of money you make increases. You're now averaging $1,010 per sale. Once you and your team have done a total of 10 sales, cumulative, folks, it means you've done a total of 10 sales. The numbers that you see, that 35,000, just take 39.95, okay, and that tells you how many sales that is. That's where we come up with those numbers. You see the 15,000 in personal? That means we require you to do some personal business, because we are an agency system. We're not a stacking type company. You have to do something. You can't go recruit somebody and ride them to the top. You must produce something in order for you to get promoted to the next rank or level of compensation. But once you and your team have done 10 sales, you're going to get promoted to a director. You get a percentage commission increase. You're now averaging about $1,130 a sale. You can see that your more sales volume is required. A total of about 16 sales. has been done. Once you've done about 16 cumulative sales, you're now promoted to a senior director. You're averaging about $1,260 per sale, personally. Once you and your team have done a total of 23 sales, you're going to become what we call a managing director, and you're now averaging about $1,400 per sale, and you're not even at our first level of executive management. And you're averaging about $1,400 a sale. How many sales a week do you have to make? As Lynn talked about, making Mary making $1,000, $3,000 a week. Well, what does that mean? That means she probably went out and made 2 to 3 sales that week. So you're averaging about $1,400 per sale at that level. And once you've done a total cumulative of 30 sales, about 30 sales, 105,000 in total volume, you're going to get promoted to our first level of executive management, which we call an executive director. What our company is built on, folks, is the ability to build executive directors. That's what we do. Well, I thought y'all had this Money Max account and you help people get out of debt. Of course, that's the product. That's the technology that we share with people. That's what we're able to help people with. But the goal and what we need to do to put the Money Max account in more people's hands, you must have distribution. Why do you think they open more Starbucks? Why do you think there's more Home Depots? Why do you think there's more Walmarts? Why do you think companies build more distribution centers all across the country in those types of companies? Because it's all about the distribution. It isn't because McDonald's has the best hamburger in the world, though you may think so, and you certainly have that right. But one thing that McDonald's understands as well as Starbucks or Home Depot is they understand marketing. They understand distribution. And what we understand is the more successful people that we are able to build and produce, the more successful our company is going to be. That's what we understand. That's why we're always continually looking for good quality people to go help share this message to other people so that we can put this in their hands, so that we can help America get out of debt, so that we can help America to truly create wealth. So let me break it down a little bit more for you. If each one of these people, each associate, let's not say trading associate, let's say associate, senior director, managing director, executive director. Let's say each one of those people makes a sale this week, which includes you making a sale personally. You're going to make $3,600 that week. If you do that every week, now listen, that's one sale from each. That means each of you make 4 sales that month total. That's $187,200 a year. Now, that's a lot of money to me. We say, well, Steve, it is a lot of money, and I don't know. That just seems like a lot of. Well, divide it in half then. You know, is $95,000 or so? Is that pretty good? Well, what if you did 2 sales each, or some mixture thereof? What if you each did 2 sales that week? That's $7,200 a week, $375,000 a year. I don't know about you, but in my home, that's a lot of money. So this gives you an opportunity. What would you like to do? Now, let me go to another point that shows you how you make income. Now, you've seen this. It's just in a little bit different diagram, but I wanted to show you how our override or management override compensation works. Okay, let's assume that you are an executive director. You're up here, you're this executive director, and you've recruited some associates, senior associates, directors, senior directors, and managing. And these people have grown and they've gotten produced to each one of these levels of management. That means if you have a senior associate that makes a sale, you make $110 every time that senior associate makes a sale. If you have a director that makes a sale, you're going to make $120 every time that they make a sale, and $220 every time your associate makes a sale. If you have a senior director and they're making sales, you're going to make $130 when they make a sale, $250 when a senior associate makes a sale, and $360 when an associate makes a sale. If you have a managing director, and you will, because you're in the business of building management, you're going to make $140 every time that a senior director makes a sale. You're going to make $270 every time a director makes a sale, $390 whenever a senior associate makes a sale, and $500 every time an associate makes a sale. And the last one is when you become an executive director, and these are your overrides off of each one of those levels. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had a couple of directors and I had 3 or so associates that I was working with, I probably could build myself a significant income. I make a couple of personal sales in a month. I make 4 or 5 training sales with an associate that month. And my directors go out and make 5, 6, 7 sales that month. Folks, the next thing before you know it, you're making $5, $10, $15,000 a month if you're doing the work. So that's how the override compensation works, as well as the personal compensation. Now I'm not going to go through each one of these, folks. I'm going to move on to show you. Now, you're an executive director. You work very hard, you become an executive director, and you recruited me. And I'm going to tell you, if you recruited me, I'm a worker. I want to be an executive director. But you say, yeah, but Steve, if you become an executive director, I'm going to lose money. No, you're going to make more money. We're in the business of building executive directors, folks, distribution. So here's what happens. Let's assume Lynn's an executive director, of which he's a senior executive director, but he's an executive director. He recruits me. I work hard. I become an executive director. Well, every time that I make a sale, or anyone on my team as an executive director, my directors, senior associates, as they make sales, Lynn's going to average $200 per sale. Every time I make a sale, or anyone on my sales team makes a sale. But let's say that I go out and I recruit Di Glenn, and she becomes an executive director. I'm going to make $200 every time she or one of her people makes a sale, but Lynn's going to make $125 because she's second generation to Lynn, but he gets $125 each sale. So she makes 10 sales this month. I make $2,000. Lynn makes $1,250. That's just an executive director overrides. Doesn't count my base shop where my sales directors and all those people are, right? That goes all the way through 6 levels of executive director generations. 6 levels, folks. That's probably thousands of people that you're overriding every time someone makes a sale. Now keep all the others in mind. You built this base organization of people under you as an executive director, and now you built other executive directors, and now we're going to talk about bonus pools. See, right now, you're overriding those people, but let me share something with you. If you join the company tonight, it doesn't matter if you do or not, I'm just saying, if you happen to sign up with the company tonight, you now could qualify for this month's October personal producer bonus pool if you meet the minimum requirement, which is about 3.5 sales. Okay, if you do that, you can qualify at the minimum to get into the personal producer pool. You see that $50? Let me tell you what that is. Every time a sale is made in United Financial Freedom, the company takes $50 of that sale and they put it into a personal producer bonus pool. You can do at any level, associate to executive director to field partner. It doesn't matter. Everybody who does personal sales and does a minimum qualification, you will share that on a pro rata share. For example, if I do the minimum 12,000, I will get a certain percentage of that pool. If you did 20,000, you would get a much bigger check than I would because you did more personally. Make sense? Now, you become an executive director. The company puts $70 every sale goes into an executive director bonus pool. At the end of the month, each executive director that's done the minimum amount, them and their team, they get to share that on a pro rata share. That could be hundreds, could potentially be thousands of dollars monthly in a bonus. Senior executive director, as you can see, they put $40, $35 for managing executive director, and $30 for field partners, because we have those 5 positions, executive positions. Can you qualify for all 5? Yes, you can. You need to work pretty hard, but folks, as an executive director, a senior executive director, you should easily be able to do personal producer and executive director and senior executive director. You should be able to qualify in all 3 of those pools. To me, the opportunity to override the entire company, not just what you've built, but the entire company by going out there and working hard and qualifying. To me, this is the best part of the compensation program that I really love. So we've got the monthly bonus pools. Now, the entire process in 3 simple steps. Let's look at how that would work. Say you join the business. You use a credit card, $149. You use a credit card. Whose money are you using? The bank's money, right? It's on your Visa or MasterCard, whatever it is. How long do you have to pay the $149 back with no interest? You have 30 days, right? So you can use the bank's money. We believe in using other people's money or use the bank's money just like they use our money. We use their money for 30 days at no interest so that I can start my business. Now, over the next 30 days, how many sales do I have to make to pay back that $149? 1. Let's say that you purchase the Money Max account. You use a credit card or our zero down financing. Again, it's the bank's money. Zero down, $115 a month. Now let's assume it's $39.95 is the cost of the Money Max account. We don't know, it's not always $39.95, folks, just understand it. That's the average, okay? But let's say that's what it costs. How many sales would you have to make over the next 30 days to actually pay off the $4,000? 4, maybe, something like that. You see, you could pay that off at the end of the month if you wanted to, but you're starting your business. You've got your business started. You've got it going. So it's pretty easy to get started and get your business moving. Then you just start inviting others to listen to the story. On Tuesday nights, Di does an incredible presentation on the Money Max account. Now, you could have your certified field trainer or executive director do those for you individually, but we also have the opportunity for you to bring people to a Zoom call and listen to Di talk about the Money Max account and break it down for them so they understand it. Then you can run the analysis for them. So imagine this. How much different could your life be a month from now? A month. When I got in the business 40 years ago, in the insurance business 40 years ago, folks, I didn't know better. I didn't know that some people weren't going to work, or that you didn't. I thought that that's what you were supposed to do. And I went to work and I started making sales and I built a bit. My life started changing. When we started building this company, folks, our lives changed. We changed many other people's lives because of the opportunity to go out and share this message with other people. Now, Steve Jobs said, don't give people what we think that they want. Give them what they never thought was possible for them to achieve. Folks, I never felt that I would ever be financially independent. I look, as a construction worker, and that's not a bad thing. I made good money, provided for my family. I never dreamed, though, I would ever be financially independent. You gotta think bigger of what your possibilities are. But if you don't have the right vehicle, see, I could work as hard as I wanted to as a construction worker. I was never going to become a millionaire because I didn't have the right vehicle. It wasn't that I didn't make money. I just didn't have the right vehicle. You got to have the right vehicle and the right program or product that you can deliver to the consumer. Again, $149 to start, $200 discount if you purchase the Money Max account in your first 21 days. No territories, no income cap, no license required. National opportunity, automated commission increases, automatic rank increases. We provide all these things for you, and all we want you to do is just go out there and share this message with other people so they can become a part of the $9.6 billion of debt under management to make that 10 billion and 20 billion and paid off 3 billion in debt and paid off 5 billion in debt. That's the goal that we want to achieve. And we want to go out and help people all across America in a couple of different ways. One, either through the Money Max account or both. You getting the Money Max account and getting involved in our business, and the sky's the limit. So with that, Lynn, Di, anything you wanted to share?
I'll let Di go first.
Oh, you guys did such an awesome job. And friends, I don't know why you're here tonight, but you are here for a reason. And like Steve said at the beginning, maybe you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maybe you love your job and you're just not making it anymore. Or maybe you're looking for a career change. Some of you have backgrounds in financial services. You're going to have a really short learning curve here. Others of you, you're sheet metal workers or truck drivers or daycare providers. Guess what? You can succeed here too, because we have an incredible training program. So regardless your reason, regardless your background, you came here looking for something, and I bet you found it.
Absolutely. And Steve, the only thing I wanted to add, I just wanted to share with people, when I got into this, my goal was to make 10 grand a month. That was my goal. I was, if I could just make 10 grand a month. Well, by about the 5th month, I was at 15,000, the 6th month, 23,000, and then 40,000, and it just kept going up. And I'll never forget the day you called me on the phone and said, Lynn, how does it feel to make over $100,000 on a single month? And it blew me away. It was just awesome. So yeah, it's exciting. We get to make a lot of money. We get to have a lot of fun. But most importantly, we help people get out of debt. And that's where the real reward is. So thank you.
Well, thanks for those words of wisdom, folks. Hey, you've kind of gotten a glimpse of what we do, a pretty good glimpse of who we are, what we do. And if you see something here that's of interest, hey, get back with the person that invited you on this call tonight. Get them to answer any questions. If they don't know, and maybe they're pretty new, they certainly have an executive director or someone they can go to, and we can get you the answers. So, folks, we're looking for some good people to join with us to carry this message out. So we'll look forward to seeing you soon. And thanks for being on the call tonight. And hope you have a great week and a great weekend. Good night, everyone. Thank you.